And we're back, everyone. Off the Ropes, episode 20. We're talking Royal Rumble pre-show. It's your boy Bret Swinney, alongside of, man, who are you guys? I've kind of forgotten who you guys are at this point. Who we got? We got Brandon Ogden. We got the Professor with us, Matt Diggs. We got the Lucha Libre. Somebody, I don't know who that guy is.
Excalibur.
Excalibur, okay.
Oh, wait,
it's KO. It must be KO. It says it on the screen there. I mean, he needs a new name there. And the long lost Jereme Hubbard, Mr. NFL transfer portal himself. How's it going, guys?
Man, good. Ready to go. Ready for tonight.
Oh man, I'm ready. Hey, so kind of got some. Man, how long has it been? I want to look back, and I think it's October since we've had an Off the Ropes episode. It feels like a year.
We've had some football, and we've had some DFW state champions crowned since then.
Here we go. We've already had this discussion, Diggs, off air. Malakoff is East Texas. I
actually want to hijack the intro because I want to establish a storyline that I think will play out on this podcast over this year as we continue into this. But this is a little bit of extended, so give me a few minutes to explain this. But when I was like 19, 20, 21 or so, like 25 years ago, one of the things I liked to do was e-wrestling. And e-wrestling back in the day, if you're not familiar with e-wrestling, is you write scripts, you develop characters, and some commissioner puts it all into a thing and makes, booking decisions based on that. And one of my good friends was a guy named Shane Hagedorn. He was like one of the people. I was Richard Anderson. He was Shane Hagedorn. And I remember this, and I was watching the ROH pay-per-view that was in Garland, and I heard them refer to Shane Hagedorn on the pay-per-view, like just as a quip, just a random thing on there. And that got my brain going. It's like, I've heard that name before. So I go and research him, and apparently he legitimately made it as a wrestler. It was a very independent wrestler, like ROH and things like that. And he currently works for ROH. So I've connected with him over DMs on Twitter, and I hope to have him on this show at some point. As kind of our AEW connection, as somebody who is in the industry and has done it, and he respects me, I respect him, he remembers that. So that's a storyline I'm establishing here before a Royal Rumble thing that I hope that we get to see set out for the next year, as I get to establish a relationship with an AEW star to bring into our fold. And that goofy KO looking mask over there is really freaking me out. So
y'all like it? I'm trying to get Royal Rumble ready.
Oh, so are you gonna be in the Rumble? We didn't know something here.
Well,
are you number 30?
This is authentic from Mexico. So I am a true lucha libro today.
I need you to wear that for the broadcast on Tuesday.
Don't tempt me, because I will. I'll do it.
We'll put the camera up, and we'll have us on screen for a minute just to get everybody entertained with your masks there.
I'm just trying to get in the wrestling mood. It's been so long since we've done the show. I just wanted to really get into the mode here.
Well, I kind of stirred the opening song there. Was kind of my lead to our first off topic. Since we've been gone, CM Punk has returned to WWE, something that we kind of didn't think was going to happen. I mean, it was one of the biggest surprises. Nowadays you don't get surprised anymore. You hear about it, but very well kept surprise. The reaction was great. What are you guys' thoughts? I know Jereme was excited.
That's how excited he was. He can't even comment on it right now. I think Jereme's a little timid right now. I feel like he knows that I've got some receipts for him. And the first time he starts talking, I'm going to cash in those receipts. So he's keeping a little bit laid back. I wasn't, you kind of, Chicago Survivor Series, it was a little bit, pre-planned as far as that goes. I was a little bit more shocked, like when The Rock came back with Pat McAfee, in October, randomly in Colorado or something. That got me, like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that. But CM Punk returning to Chicago Survivor Series, and he's almost like a PG CM Punk right now. So maybe when he gets in the ring and we can see his character development, but right now, not really excited.
PG Punk, you're calling him PG Punk?
PG Punk.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, right? With everything that's happened recently, they better stay pretty PG, because everybody's going to be watching everything going on. I am pretty pumped that CM Punk is back. KO, I told you I wasn't going to watch AEW anymore if he didn't come back. Well, that was a lie. I've been watching it.
And then we went to a show, and got to see our friend that we got to sit across the way from, and
yeah, he had more of a personality than Diggs does, but that's okay. By the way, it was zero. I mean, look, here's the thing, Diggs. You can keep your receipts, you and Dion. You can be a fool like him if you'd like to. But, here's the thing. I really had I don't want to say I was done with WWE, but it was like, man, it was just like, it seemed like it was the same thing every week. It was the same guys and the same story, just a different verse, I guess, like more so than you. I know that's what it is in general, right? But it seemed like it was more so than usual. And then they get a little new blood in there. And I mean, I had kind of told you guys I was kind of done with the bloodline thing a long time ago. And now I'm even probably more over it than I ever have been. And The Rock coming back maybe draws you back in a little bit to what's going on there, at least make you care about it some. But I'm excited for tonight. I think there's a lot of interesting things going on. Maybe some sub stories that, used to be Royal Rumble, and I guess it still is one of the big four they consider it to be. But I think they have kind of started using it more as a springboard instead of being one of the big four, I feel like, over the last couple of years, maybe.
Hey, I'm excited that CM Punk's back. I know I got tired of him in AEW because there was always drama surrounding him in AEW. But now that he's in WWE, I think it's a more grown-up atmosphere. There's more veteran wrestlers in WWE that he's not going to be able to do what he did in AEW in WWE. So I think we're going to see the best of CM Punk, and even this past Monday, seeing him and Cody in a WWE ring was surreal. It was surreal to see. So I'm excited that CM Punk's back. And as far as the Rumble tonight, 4 matches. That's awesome. I think that's awesome. The Rumble matches are going to be at least an hour apiece, and then a couple of other matches that are big matches thrown in there, but not overbooking the show, not trying to get 10 matches in a 4-hour span. Like, less matches is better. Quality over quantity. So I'm excited for tonight. I think it's going to be a good show.
When Logan Paul and Kevin Owens is your lull soft spot of the night, you should be a good show.
But it won't be, right? Like they're going to steal them. Somehow they're going to steal the show with what they're going to do. They're going to do something crazy.
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we're going in. That's the lowest.
Yeah.
Like
that's your bathroom. That's your bathroom break matches, Kyle. We call it.
No, there are no bathroom breaks.
Well,
I'm still trying to process what KO said about that WWE has more veterans right now. I would say AEW has more veterans right now when you look at just the roster up and down. I mean, WWE maybe has their top 8 stars, but after that, it's really, Austin Theory, these are your coming up guys. So I'm a little confused, KO, if you think CM Punk is going to get along with the locker room because there's all of this veteran talent. There might be bigger stars in WWE that he has to respect if Stone Cold or The Undertaker or The Rock comes in. But as far as 1 to 20 or whatever, I'd say AEW has way more veterans right now.
What I mean by that is that in AEW, he was kind of looked at as someone that people would need to go to get information from and learn the business from. Whereas in WWE, a lot of those people, they're in the WWE, they've been to the Performance Center. They've done all this stuff already. They don't necessarily have to ask him for advice. They can, but in AEW, it seemed like he was the older guy, so he had to be that leader. Whereas in WWE, he doesn't need to because there's already so many leaders around him. That's what I meant.
Okay. All right. Topic 2, The Rock on the board of directors of TKO now, and also getting his name back. Thought that was very interesting the way they released that right before the stock market opened and all the other news that came out. So The Rock's kind of on a roll lately. He's got he's got the new UFL going. He came on surprisingly on the WWE television. And now he's kind of like, I don't know, he's part of the, I guess, ownership, but he's, board of directors. I mean, that's a pretty big role. So kind of maybe more incentive for him to appear different times now because he's kind of more involved. So it'll be interesting to see and we already talked about the match with Roman Reigns at some point, but who knows when that will be? Hopefully soon. But I thought that was interesting, guys. What do you think about? I mean, it's very good timing with the other stuff going on. Rock's a face that's going to bring the TKO credibility, and so I think it's a good move for them and a good positive move for The Rock as well.
Yeah, it's no coincidence, right? I mean, it all played out that way for a reason. I think they knew it was coming. I mean, here's the thing, it's news to us over the last few days, but they've known about it for a while now. That's not something they just throw on you. And I think away from that, I think The Rock has done very well business-wise since he's, ventured into a lot of things. Has he been perfect? No. I'm interested on the football side, how the UFL works. I still think that's probably not long-term a profitable thing. I don't know, but maybe it is. But I think that if anybody's going to make the fans overlook what else is going on there, it's The Rock. He has the public eye. He's somebody that all wrestling fans will get behind because he hasn't been there, And I think he'll get back in the ring. I think he'll be back in the ring at Mania, honestly. I think they've got to have something positive happen. But I think it was all by design from the very beginning.
I won't go too off topic even though we're off topic, but I think what we've learned with what he's talking about, Bret's big picture, wrestling is changing right now. And the fact that they got a $5 billion deal, and we know AEW's deal was about $1 billion, kind of gives incentive to football things that if you can find a niche market, you can sell that package to one of these companies or a broadcasting company and make enough money to where your attendance doesn't really matter. You can just make your money on the television deal. So I think that could be a big factor in, maybe The Rock and all of that. But I think wrestling is changing. We've learned in the last couple of months, I guess we have NXT going to the CW network. We got SmackDown coming over to USA, and now we've got Raw going over to Netflix. We're going to have to navigate. And now we don't know for 3 months what Raw is going to have. They end their contract in October. Netflix doesn't start until January. So right now it's kind of a precarious position as a wrestling fan. There's going to be some changes, and we don't know what all the changes are going to feel like or going to look like. And really, I think one of the reasons why wrestling is so well, it does so well, is that we have a comfort level with it. We kind of know what we're going to get, and we have a happiness, and there's going to be some changes. Will we still like that? What we're going to see on the other side? Might it be better? Might it be worse? I think we're going to have a lot of wrestling insecurity right now, Bret.
Yeah.
I like what Diggs said there. I agree. It's gonna be, and also what Jeremy said, but it's gonna be very interesting. And but I do like the move with The Rock. Any way he's involved, it's good for the company.
I like The Rock being involved. I think he knows the business. I mean, the bloodline. I mean, he knows the business. He understands it. He knows what the fans want to. I think he'll listen to the fans. It's headed in the right direction. As far as the Netflix thing, my question is, how's it going to? It's not going to be 3 hours straight with no commercials but Netflix.
Yeah.
No way.
Well,
they're going to have Netflix ads and breaks in there like Hulu.
Well,
Hulu
I think it's going to depend on your tier. It may depend on your tier, Kyle. Like if you have the premium tier, then maybe you get like AEW where you wrestle through the commercials. You have things that go on during the breaks.
Well, that's what they do they do that with Peacock now, right? I mean, if you're on a certain level of Peacock, you get all this behind the scenes footage while the rest of us get commercials. I've thought about that too, KO. Like, what does that even look like? How are they going to handle that? They're going to have to sell it, right? I mean, they've got to have ads because they're going to have to make their money the way they've been making it right now. I'm curious to see how it all works. I think they'll go straight to Netflix in October. I think that. I mean, why not? I mean. You can't afford to put it somewhere else.
I think they'll put it on Peacock, I think, for those couple months just to get people used to streaming. So then when they get to Netflix, people are already used to it being on a streaming service. So
the reason
they already have a deal with Peacock.
Yeah, the reason why they're waiting, fellas, is to line the deal up with the Canadian and UK and all that. So it's all going because their deal ends at the end of the year. And so that's why the Netflix deal starts in January, is to line all that up. And so that it starts and everywhere and Netflix. Now the Canada UK deal, everything's on Netflix. So like SmackDown, NXT, and all the premium live events will move to Netflix starting in 2025. And so if you have a VPN, then you could actually switch to Canada and you can actually get everything on Netflix. That's kind of what I think. And I think as the Peacock deal expire, you might see everything move over to Netflix if they have success with it. I can see that and that's your go-to for WWE would be Netflix, all the content, everything. So we'll see where it goes. But I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't go that way if it's a success.
With all due respect to Canada and the UK, they better figure out how to get Americans in front of the TV for those 3 months. Because, here's the thing about it. If AEW needs a break, this could be the one. If they're going to be on TV in front of people and WWE's not, I mean, I honestly question the Netflix deal in the first place. I'm not sure that it's a great thing for them. I know that they're kind of stuck, but I think it's going to be a challenge. I think people will go there just because they, but I don't know. But I think that they're going to have to go. I don't even think going to Peacock's a great. Think about the NFL. Think about how many NFL fans refuse to get Peacock just to watch one playoff game. You know what I mean? Like, I would venture to say there's more
record stream 23 million people will watch that.
Well,
that
but think about in comparison what they get to watch game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's a great thing for them to go to Netflix in the first place, and I sure don't think they can afford to not have it out in the public eye for those 3 months.
Well, they'll figure something out, I'm sure. Also, they don't confirm that it's going to stay on Monday. Like, it's possible that they move it to another night, which would be interesting to see. I know they've already said. I don't know if it's official. I've heard that SmackDown will be moving to Tuesday nights. Is what I.
No, it's official.
Is it?
Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Khan said it on his interview last week. It's officially going to Tuesday. So
then I don't know what do you got to move into NXT? You'll have to pick a different night. I mean, you go back to Wednesday. I mean, you already have AEW there. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how all the shuffle goes. And then if Monday's left open, do you see somebody's jumping that slot? If they don't take Monday and they want to avoid Monday Night Football, the college football championship, that stuff during the year, and I've heard that's a reason they want to try to avoid that. If they do, then AEW sliding that slot with one of their shows. I could see Collision moving over from Saturday to Monday, or something. I don't know what'll happen there, but if they leave that Monday slot, as a wrestling fan, Monday is wrestling night. Always from when I was a kid, you had something on Monday, whether it was Raw, whether it was Nitro. So that's even with the football, I still think it's a prime wrestling spot. So if they give that up, which they didn't say they were staying on Monday, I think that's still up in the air. Then I could see an AEW, and I don't think you move Dynamite. I think you move Collision off Saturday, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. What do you guys think about that?
Well, Monday Night Football is only 4 months of the year, so that that's 8 other months that you have something. So I get why they would move off Mondays, but it's also they've been on Mondays so long.
You have big Mondays too, like basketball season, Brandon. You have big Mondays on basketball season.
Well, they're not very big anymore.
I don't think the markets are the same though. Honestly, for the bulk of it, I don't think the markets are the same. That's a whole nother conversation. I don't think they should even worry about that in the first place. I don't think that it's enough of a concern to move off. I can't imagine they take it off on Monday. That would be nuts to me.
I love football. I don't watch Monday Night Football unless it's the Cowboys. So at the end of the day, I just kind of, I know it's there. I might kind of keep an eye on it for fantasy perspective, but I'm watching wrestling on Monday night.
I don't think it's moving off Mondays. I think they'll have Raw on Monday, SmackDown on Tuesday, NXT on Wednesday, and just do it like that, back to back to back. I don't think they're moving Raw off Monday. And here's the thing: they're already getting their money from Netflix. Like they've already got the contract. That $5 billion, they're already getting it. So it doesn't matter if they got and they're not fighting for. You're not fighting for viewership numbers with Netflix because you're just fighting for subscriptions. That's how you get paid.
Watch hours will be what they would do. Not that's what you do on that stuff.
I don't think they're gonna. They've been going up against Monday Night Football for years now. I don't think they're gonna stop. I don't think it's that big of a deal. They just count those 4 months as our viewership's gonna be a little down, but it is what it is. It's the NFL. They're a juggernaut.
But it's just like every other thing. They've got their money for this contract, but they got to be looking at the next one. I mean, it can't be a flop for them, or they're screwed the next time around.
Netflix can opt out after 5 years. that they have that's in there. So it's not a guaranteed 10. They can opt out after 5. And then Netflix has the right to up for another 10 after the end of the 10's over. They can say we want to up it again, or they can renegotiate. That's kind of, I was reading some stuff on how the contract worked, and that's kind of what I heard was going on with that.
They
All right.
actually created kind of a weird dichotomy in a statement that I never really considered before. I think wrestling is very ratings based. When ratings drop, you kind of what's going on, what quarter hours are getting it. You may not get that with Netflix right
You
now,
won't.
so there may be a little bit of a lull in reaction time between what is hot and what is not, because you don't have the ratings to inform that.
Yeah, you won't. There's no. It'll be just be how many hours of watch time. That's what I'm saying with telling Kyle, man. That's what they have to look at right now. It's the same thing we do with our streams. I mean, how many views are we getting? We're not getting a rating on how. I mean, it's just number of views, and so that's all they'll be able to see.
Well, they'll find a way to be able to track what parts you're watching and what. I mean, they're smarter than we are, right? They'll know what they'll know what's good and what's not, and what people are fast forwarding through, and they'll get all those numbers too. I just disagree with the idea that they can just like kind of say, "Oh well," for a little bit. I think it's very important that it goes well from the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, okay. The last one, it's kind of a sensitive topic, but it's happened. Vince is gone, obviously, from WWE. He's resigned. All these allegations coming out. I mean, I kind of knew that there were things going on, but just the things that they are saying, they were true happening, and possibly Brock Lesnar being one of those talents that was, doing this stuff. Something I read that I thought was interesting. I don't know if you guys saw it, but somebody posted that the rift between Shane and Vince was over this, and he spoke out at the office on some stuff that he didn't agree with what Vince was doing, and that's why he left the company. I thought that was really interesting, and just like I always thought, well, just Shane didn't want to be involved more, but he actually was trying to do his best to get rid of some of that, and that's why he left the company. And I wonder if the same thing was with Stephanie, because they've just kind of had distanced themselves a lot of it. So this whole thing is just so sad, and I hate it for wrestling. It just kind of makes it kind of a sour note. We talked about the Rock thing kind of maybe overshadowing it, but for me, I think what happened on air, I think maybe it just got too real there, because look back in the day at what Vince did on air and how he treated some of the women on air. And I just think it's just such a blackball. I mean, from a business perspective, I saw an interview with Nick Khan and Pat McAfee. I don't know if you saw that. He was on his show this last week. And he talked about how good a businessman Vince was, and all that's ruined now because of things that were done. I mean, it's just like you're not going to think of Vince McMahon as a successful business owner and what he did to bring wrestling, because he basically didn't have anything growing up. And then this. I mean, I just think it's really a sad story.
Go ahead, KO.
I got you. I think here's all I'm going to say about it. Vince McMahon doesn't deserve our attention. He doesn't deserve our recognition. I appreciate what he did to make WWE what it is today. But as far as a human being, he is the scum of the earth. Not joking, not MJF scum. He is the scum. He's the despicable human being. Some of the details that were outlined in there are just completely horrific. And I think him and anybody that was associated with that, whether Brock is involved or not, they all deserve to be blackballed from WWE, anything wrestling related, I think. I mean, that's just, there's no place for that. And I have nothing else to say. He's just a despicable human being, but that's who Vince is. Vince is a terrible person, and now it's all coming out. He's been able to cover it up all these years with just paying it off. And now it's all out in the open, and there's nothing he can do about it. And I'm glad that he's finally getting exposed, and I hope that we never hear from Vince McMahon ever again.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, as a father of two girls, I got no use for a guy in that situation, right? Like, those are the kind of people that you sit and pray about that your daughter never runs into. in any situation, especially in a situation when you read the report and the things that he was just like any other child predator, call him what he is. Maybe she wasn't a minor, but when you're a predator, you find people that have weaknesses that you can prey on, and that's what he did with this woman specifically. And make no mistake about it, there's more, right? Like, this is a culture issue. This is not a one-time incident. We may only know about one right now. There'll be more. And the thing is, yeah, he's taken a hit for it. Laurinaitis has taken a hit. When you read the details, there's no doubt they're talking about Brock Lesnar, right? He's the only one that fits the bill. That's a culture issue inside the building. For that stuff to be going on in the building, there are tons of people who knew it. Now, it explains a lot of things from the last few years. It explains why certain people never went to the company, because that wasn't a secret. There's no way that was a secret. It explains why certain people had spots in the company and some people didn't because they didn't want to be a part of it, or they were willing to shut up and not say anything when it happened. That's how all that happens, right? What I'm glad about is I read today, I was reading a minute ago on an article I found on Twitter or Facebook or something, that they asked Nia Jax, how does all this coming out affect you in part of the company? He goes, look, and she said, look, we're professionals. We are doing our job. What he does, regardless, doesn't affect us. Now, if it happens to you, it affects you. But people aren't going to jump ship from WWE because he did that. However, and I think there will be people, right? Think about the NFL when people started kneeling, or any other controversy happens, right? No matter what it is, people say, well, I'm never having anything to do with them again, right? And they're still wearing their Nike shoes. Fans aren't going to leave the WWE over this. This is not the WWE. It's one person, a sick individual who, as KO's right, we're spending way too much time talking about him. He doesn't deserve the conversation. But it has to be talked about because it's a big deal. And it comes out at the wrong time. I'm interested to see how it's addressed, if it's addressed going forward. Hopefully we get Shane back. I think Shane's good for the business. I think Shane is that would be great. I don't know. But he gets whatever he deserves. He's going to go to prison over it, I think. I would believe he will.
And Jereme, the one Backlash could lose some sponsorships over, and Slim Jim already pulled for tonight. That's the only one so far. But Slim Jim did pull their Royal Rumble sponsorship for tonight, so no Slim Jim match between Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. But I did see that that does sound like Stephanie is really, really close. And I think it was even before this came out, but it was once Vince stepped away, she was going to move back into a role, and it sounds like she's really close to coming back from some things I read. So, and more of that came out today. So we'll see.
Can you imagine, like, as a daughter and your dad was doing that? I mean, that's just. I mean, man.
But here's she knew.
She knew too, and
you had to know. You had to know. It's stuff like that doesn't just get kept secret. You guys know this stuff that's supposed to be secret in a big. I mean, no matter where you work, there's secrets that everybody knows. No matter where you work, it's the same thing there. I can assure you.
I also think right now, like, I know Stephanie and Shane were not, like you said, Jamie. They may have known. They may have known. They know their dad's a piece of crap. Like, they may have known. But I think right now, maybe down the road, but right now, this moment, I think any McMahon's name just needs to be kind of pushed away from WWE for right now. Like Stephanie, Shane, the McMahon name just kind of needs to take a break from WWE.
Even Triple H. I mean, seriously, like he's as closely aligned with them as anybody is at this point.
Yeah,
right?
but Vince destroyed NXT, which was what was Triple H's baby. Like, it's not like Vince and Triple H are close. Like, I don't think they're close at all. So I'm okay with Triple H staying there, but I think a McMahon name doesn't need to be associated with WWE for a little bit, just to let kind of everything die down, because that's going to be a hot subject. Because like you mentioned earlier, there's going to be more that comes out. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be more. Once these NDAs start falling off, there will be more details that come out, and it's going to get worse. So me personally, I just think McMahon name just needs to stay away from WWE for right now.
And I don't want to read the next report, by the way. I'm done. I've read enough.
Yeah, I'm not reading the next one either.
And this is we'll see. I'll be glad when they can get everybody out that was part of this. Anybody that was in it. And so you got to wonder if that's why Kevin Dunn left. They've been talking about trying to get rid of him, and all of a sudden he he resigned pretty recently too. So I think WWE's better off. The storylines have been better over the last few months. Honestly, to me, I can tell the difference that Triple H is back. We no longer have Butch. We have Pete Dunne back. Thankfully, that was finally done. Just some other things that I see DIYs together and doing a tag team. I like that. There's a lot of good things going on right now, and Triple H is doing a great job as a head of creative. I think finally he now has full control, and he doesn't have someone over his shoulder. He has to approve of everything. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about tonight's Rumble. You ready to talk a little Rumble? I know Matt, you still having to bounce here. You want to give us? If you do, you can get.
Yeah, I'm going to give you my 3-minute promo, and it'll be your foundation for you to go off and discuss.
Well, you got to make sure you include your picks in your promo.
I will.
Okay, all right, we're ready.
My dream booking scenario tonight, and I don't think this is going to happen. My dream booking scenario would be The Rock comes and costs Roman the title, so they can set up Roman and The Rock without a title. Let's give it to Randy Orton. Let's have Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Let's have CM Punk against Rollins at WrestleMania. And if everything is okay with Brock, let's have Gunther versus Brock. That would be my dream booking scenario. Don't think that's going to happen for a myriad of reasons. Therefore, I'm going to I think Gunther will win the Royal Rumble tonight. I think he will go on and take on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I think Becky Lynch wins the Women's Royal Rumble and goes on and takes on the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley. I think we're going to see the Logan Paul win, and I think we're going to see Roman Reigns retain because I don't think they're willing to take it off of him, even though this is the best opportunity because he doesn't have to take a pin and can lose it and can get rid of that title and open up so many things. So I've got my dream situation and I got my realistic situation, but I think reality is going to win. I think we're going to see Roman Reigns. One more headlining thing because there's so many things I think they want to do with Netflix. So now that instead of WrestleMania being this kind of, we're going to top it off here, I think they're kind of looking till next January to top things off. And I think we're going to lose as wrestling fans as far as that goes. But that being said, this is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. I'm so excited about it. I think y'all mentioned being more excited about this one than a lot. I think WrestleMania ends a lot of stories, but this starts a lot of stories. So there's so much optimism going into the Royal Rumble. So I'm excited about it. It's always a pleasure, gentlemen. I'm going to look forward to listening to this. I'm going to listen to this while I'm watching the pre-show here in a couple hours. Go Team Blaze and volleyball, and pick them correctly, gentlemen.
Hey, I was going to tell you too, Matt. We did a Brandon get a randomizer for the Rumble, and so we'll send you over your list. So like we each got a number. So if you get number 10 and someone out of the women's number 10 wins the Royal Rumble, you win. So we're going to do that too as a kind of a cool thing to root for.
It counts as like 5 right picks.
5 right picks. Wow.
That's hard to. Out of 30, that's pretty.
That means you wouldn't have to get any picks correct. You could just jump over and win that part.
And by the way, shocker, Brandon and Brett have 29 and 30 digs. I just want to let you know that it's.
I paid big money for that, man. I've been working hard. I'm traveling all over East Texas streaming games these days.
In the women's, it's Diggs and Kyle. Yeah. In the women's, it's Diggs and Kyle have 29.
Yeah, you see who the least favorite person is in this whole entire show, by the way.
Hey, Jeremy, you had 30 in the women, and then you complained about Bret getting 20. But I forgot we had to add Diggs in there, so I didn't know he was.
Well, thanks, Diggs, for joining us. Good luck in your volleyball matches tonight, or your daughters, anyways. Just don't beat them too badly.
Go Team Blaze.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Matt. We appreciate you. And guys, we can talk Rumble now.
Before we do, you mentioned Diggs. I would love to see Diggs in a volleyball game, by the way. Just throwing that out there. I'd watch.
That would be interesting.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. I digress. Just sounded funny to me.
So, first match is going to be the Women's Royal Rumble. So many ways they can go with this. I think it's kind of hard to remember back all to the most recent ones, but I can't remember a time where there's so many ways they can go with these two Rumbles. Like last year, okay, we kind of all figured Cody was going to win, and the Bianca winning. I think they could go a lot of different ways this year with this, which makes it more interesting than especially last year's. I kind of think we kind of knew last year's how they were going to go with it. For the women, I'm going with Bayley. So here's my theory on what I think is going to happen. I think Bayley's going to win the Rumble, and then she's going to act like she chooses Rhea Ripley, but she's going to go after Io Sky. They're going to feud, and that's finally going to end that whole thing because they don't want her in the group anyway. That's where I'm going with that. What are you guys going with?
Bret read my mind, but I have some other theories on that too. I'm going with Bayley too, but I've also I don't know if Dakota's healthy yet. If she was healthy and in it, I could see her being a dark horse or her being the one to eliminate Bayley. Yeah. Even if she's not in it, I could still if Bayley doesn't win it, I could see Dakota being the one to eliminate Bayley, and somehow. But I think Bayley's going to be the winner, and like you said, I don't think she's going after Rhea. I think she will eventually be facing Io at WrestleMania, and but I think this is Bayley's time to win it, and we'll see. I think
is she come back?
She's
is she the hugger? Is she hugger Bayley again?
I don't think she's hugger Bayley.
She's growing her hair out. Did you notice? She's growing her hair out. So she can go back to the ponytail.
Yeah, but I do think it's more babyface Bayley. Okay. But I don't think it's complete hugger Bayley. But I do think it'll be you don't think we'll get the inflatables
a little off topic. Do y'all remember NXT? The girl Izzy on the front row. She is now a wrestler, and her gear looks a lot like Bayley's old gear, like the color.
And she also does. She's also doing like wrestling media. She has podcasts and she writes and stuff. Actually, she was at the WrestleMania I went to. I didn't. She was on the other side. I never got to actually see her, but she was there covering it too. And she's all grown up now.
This just makes me feel old. That's all I got to say. Y'all go ahead, Brandon or Kyle or Jeremy. Y'all go ahead.
Well, two things. Number one, are there even 30 women in WWE? Because I don't even know. I've been trying to go through my head about who all can win this. Number two,
the women's one's going to be the NXT, where we get a lot of NXT.
Okay, number two, tell me who's going to return, right? Like, you guys probably have paid a lot more attention to it than I have. I keep seeing social media. Do we get Sasha back, right?
No, she's signed with AEW.
Right. So if she comes back, then she wins, but she's not coming back. I'm going to go with Becky Lynch. I mean, I think that's I don't know if you're going to tell me today that Bayley and Io Sky is going to be a championship match at WrestleMania, that goes ahead and gives me the bathroom break match, right? People will want to watch Becky and Rhea, and why not have it for a championship? We always talk about you don't need a belt to have a good match, but maybe in this case you do. I don't know. I mean, they'll have a good match either way. But I think I didn't really care a lot about Bianca winning. she doesn't. I mean, I'm not a women's wrestling hater, right? But I think that the majority of people who watch it, they have just continued to build Becky up as like the next one. Last year it was Bianca, and you just kind of knew going in Bianca was going to win. You felt like. I feel like this is a time for Becky. It could be. I mean, the Bayley pick is probably it makes the most sense, honestly. But I'm going to go with Becky.
But see, Becky can face Rhea for the title regardless. Which I think Becky could win too. But you can still have the Becky Rhea match for the title because whoever wins this can face the SmackDown champion.
So my thing, Bayley has lost like 18 million times last year. I think that she's gotten down. I think this is her chance because like she can go in the ring. Like they haven't used her really. Like she's been kind of stuck in this lull with the damage control thing. I don't know if they're waiting on, like you said, Brandon, I thought they're waiting on Dakota Kai to be healthy before they pull something on it. I don't know where they're going with it, but I just feel like it's time to get rid of that, turn her back face, because her heel heat, like she's kind of getting face because everyone's feeling sorry for her because they're blatantly treating her like crap. It would be like all four of us going somewhere and we just, because Kyle has a mask on, we just don't even listen to him. We boss him around and tell him what to do, and he just takes it. Like that's what they've been doing to Bayley right now. Like they're just completely treating her like garbage, blaming everything on her. I think she, in her mind right now, I think she's got this plan out on the outward side of, she's going to get the title. They're all going to have the belts, yada yada yada. But I think inside she's got to be thinking, I'm about to screw these. They've been treating me like crap. I'm going to show them who's who's the real leader of this group, and she's going to do it. That's what I think. That's the only reason why I agree with Brandon. Becky could go challenge. She's still so over right now. She could just go challenge Rhea Ripley. Kyle, you got somebody different, or you going with one of the same ones we got here?
Well, I got this all figured out, fellas. Diggs said get it right, so I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what's gonna happen.
All right.
So after watching SmackDown last night, going into last night, I thought Bayley was gonna win the Royal Rumble. But after SmackDown last night, when the Kabuki Warriors won the tag titles, Bayley's going to fail and not win the Rumble and then get kicked out of Damage Control because of that. Then Bayley will go to the Elimination Chamber, win the Chamber, challenge Io at Mania for the SmackDown title. That's how that's going to work. Then tonight, which that means Becky's going to win tonight to challenge Rhea. So I was on the ropes, not off the ropes, but on the ropes on what I was going to do, who I was going to choose between Bayley and Becky until SmackDown last night. Pretty much, to me anyway, told me that Bayley's losing tonight, and that's going to kick her out of Damage Control and kickstart a feud with Io. And as far as surprise entrants tonight, I think Naomi returns tonight in the Rumble, and I think AJ Lee will show up as well.
That would be a big pop.
If she comes back, she won't win, but it'd be fun. No. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, she's not going to win, but with Punk being back, I think AJ Lee shows up back in this Royal Rumble.
Who did Diggs pick again?
Diggs had Becky. So we have 2 Baileys and 3 Beckys. All right, what's Jereme got? Jeremy's here.
Jereme,
what you got? Who you got, Jereme?
Oh, I picked Becky too. We was already talking about this when we were sitting here and y'all were discussing it. So I'm on the Becky train as well.
Okay, you're on Team Becky. All right, 4-2.
Can we ask Jereme how weird it is to be sitting beside some random guy with a mask on? Like, that's a little weird.
I'm the one that gave him the mask, so
okay.
I supplied it. I supplied him with this, so you're welcome.
That makes it less weird. That makes it less weird. Okay.
All right.
Do we think like is Charlotte's timetable? Is she coming back?
No, Charlotte's out. She's got.
I couldn't remember what her timetable was.
ACL tear. She's out for a year, brother.
Oh yeah. She's definitely. I forgot that. Okay. And we'll probably get a legend or two. I don't know who, but we'll.
The women.
It won't be Beth.
The women tend to have more.
It won't be Beth Phoenix this
time. Women tend to have more legends because there's not as many women. So you got a lot of men to pick from, like y'all said. They'll do some NXT, but there's always a couple of those, Or if it'll be like a Trish or a Lita or one of those.
Wouldn't be terrible if we had a Mandy Rose or a Lacey Evans. It wouldn't be the worst thing, Brandon.
Hey, did y'all see where Dana Brooks showed up in Impact?
Yeah,
I've been kind of keeping up with Impact a little bit more just because of and Nick Nemeth over there in Impact, the Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, poor Dana Brooke, man.
She got some work done. It doesn't look good.
And it was not good. She should ask for her money back.
She needs that mask that Kyle has.
I don't know if that's right. Yeah, she should have been a lucha libro too.
Oh man. All right. Next match on the card here. The 4-way match. You got the man. Hold on. Let's preface who we have in this match here. Let's see. We got this guy. Let's see who we got. We got he's in this match. Yeah, this guy. LA Knight. Yeah. Talk to me. He I think he's my son's favorite wrestler, so that's who my son wants to win. Then you got some guy named Roman Reigns in this match. Never really heard of him. He's only held the belt for 1,200 days, maybe 1,300 by now. I don't know, guys. I just don't see them taking the belt off Roman right now. I know I like what Diggs said about this is a chance, and it is a chance. I think there's more of a chance that he loses tonight than he's had in like a long time. I think just because of they can take the belt off of him without him actually getting pinned in a match, and it's not a one-on-one. I just don't see it happening. I'm going with Roman Reigns. We got to acknowledge him. Oh, here we go. There. Oh, Roman Reigns is wearing a Lucha Libre mask now. Okay, all right. I'm assuming, Kyle, that if you got that shirt on, that you're going to go with Reigns as well. There.
Yeah. There's no way Roman's losing the title at Royal Rumble tonight. But I think the more interesting question is who takes the pin. Randy's not taking the pin. Orton's going to be protected.
AJ Styles.
I truthfully think Orton's not even going to be in the ring when the pin happens. He's probably going to be on the outside. I don't think pin LA Knight. I think he's too hot right now. AJ just came back. Unfortunately, I think AJ takes the pin tonight. But yeah Roman. Actually, Roman did tweet out today that he's going to be stacking bodies. What if we get a throwback to the Edge Daniel Bryan thing where he stacks AJ and LA Knight to pin tonight? I don't know. Either way, Roman's winning for sure.
I've went back and forth on this between Roman and Randy. I still think there's a chance.
So you say there's a chance?
I feel like I don't know why I feel like Randy's gonna win this thing, and we're gonna get. And I don't know if anything happens tonight, but if we're gonna get, because we get Rock and Roman, it's not gonna be for a belt. Don't need it to be for a belt. And so does Roman lose it now, or does he lose it at Elimination Chamber, or does he lose it the first night of Mania? Like I'm gonna go with Roman. I don't think I'll.
Come on, Brandon.
He's not
Come on, Brandon. You gotta go with your gut there.
Yeah. Okay. If SmackDown would have ended with Orton, in that RKO again one more time, I probably would have went Orton. But then when they had LA Knight come in there and take him out at the end, I was like, I think they would have had Orton, because he's been ending like every show on top. But I'm gonna go with Roman. Roman's gonna win, but there's no way Randy takes the pin, and like Kyle said, won't be nowhere near the pin.
So who did Diggs take? I need to know this before I pick.
Diggs took Roman Reigns.
Okay, so I can be different.
Right now, everyone has Roman Reigns so far. We have 2 Jeremys left. That's who's left.
Well, there's 2 things about it, right? Ultimately, Cody Rhodes is going to finish the story at Mania, right?
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Don't let that talk fool you.
I don't think so.
Don't let that talk fool you. But does that necessarily mean he has to win the championship to get there? I think that maybe that's a moving target, right? I think I try to look at, okay, depending on who I think I want to win or who could win tonight, how does the booking go for Mania, right? I think it's Knight and AJ Styles going forward, right? That may be the matchup that they're setting up next. That's why they're part of this. I do think, and we're not there yet, but I do think we get CM Punk and Rollins at Mania. I don't know where the Gunther falls in there yet, but I think it's Punk and Rollins. You could have, if we're going to get Reigns and Rock, I'm with Brandon. I don't think you need to have the belt to have Reigns and Rock, but they haven't been scared to put those guys put a championship on those guys in the past, right? I mean, heck, we had Rock and Punk for the belt not too long ago. I mean, that was way back. I mean, that was 7, maybe 8, 9 years ago. But I don't think they're afraid to have it for a belt, but I don't think they have to have it. So if Orton wins, maybe it's Orton and Rhodes, and that's finishing the story, coming back to legacy, right? But you could also have Orton and Rhodes without the belt. If he doesn't finish the story, he continues the story by having Orton and Rhodes, which is what I think we'll get at Mania. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's what I think.
I'm with you.
It says a lot about what you're saying, Jeremy, is like last year we already knew the Mania matches. Like right now we're all up in the air of like it could go a number of different directions, which I like because I don't want to already know what's going to happen. I like the fact that they're able to kind of keep it, because we already knew what was going to happen last year pretty much as far as what matches we had. So, yeah. I mean, you just explained it, and it makes perfect sense now that they have a lot of ways they can go. That's what makes this one interesting tonight.
I guess the question is, which match needs the belt more, Orton and Rhodes or Reigns and Rock? And you could argue neither one of them need the belt.
Neither one of them.
And you could argue both. And then you could argue that both of them need the belt. Rhodes to finish the story, or Rock actually taking the head. I mean, what table are you sitting at if the belt's not there, right? Like, who cares? That's just like the kids' table. When you're just taking the head kid table seat, right?
Rock's already the head of the table now. He's head of the board now.
Well, yeah, that's literal. I just to be different. Who cares if I lose? I've lost before a bunch of times. I'll go with Orton. I'm going to go with Orton. I think that I like Orton, and I agree that it's got to be Styles that takes the pin, and I think starting tomorrow we get or Monday rather we start getting I guess Friday we get LA Knight and AJ Styles going forward. I'll go with Orton. I think that's. I don't know if The Rock interferes. I heard somebody say that earlier. Maybe The Rock comes in and has a role in it. Maybe we get The Rock after the match. I don't think we do tonight. I think they're going to save that for something else. But I'm going to go with Orton just to be different. Why not?
Okay. All right. JT.
He's currently not in here at the moment, but he's picking Roman.
He is okay. All right.
Wait,
All right.
who's that guy?
Oh.
Well, I'm watching a kid, and I didn't want to scare him. So
Oh, well, yeah. That's dangerous. Kyle watching the kid.
I know it's very scary.
I'm not supposed to see Rey Mysterio without his mask, or you, I guess. You were just
that was going to be my new thing. Is on here. I was going to wear a mask all the time, but now I've already blown that gimmick. So
No, well, you need a new gimmick now. All right. So next match, Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. Yeah, this is it's going to be an interesting match. I think there's a lot of things they can do. Logan Paul always does some crazy stuff, and Kevin Owens is crazy. I like the way they've built this match up. I think Logan Paul keeps the belt, and then he faces somebody at Mania. I think he hadn't had the belt long enough. He's going to be here till Mania season. It's one of those kind of seasonal things, I believe. So I'm going to go with Logan Paul retains over Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I got Logan Paul too, and like we kind of hinted at earlier, I think this will be a fun match. They've had a really fun build. I like anything Logan Paul does right now. I mean, it's just you can have his opinion about him as a person, or whatever, but as an entertainer, as a fighter, as a promoter, he's golden. I mean, he's entertaining. He knows what he's doing. He's not just another celebrity in this business. He is, like Kevin tried to make it out to seem recently. And he is. I mean, he is a legit. He's one of the best pro wrestlers they got right now. I mean, he's the United States champion for a reason. He's you can put him on every week and it's entertaining. And Kevin Owens is great too. So I think this will be a very fun match. And I do hope Logan I hope he wins it. Straight up with a frog splash or something. Does or knocks him out or something. I don't want hopefully, but not no brass knuckles or nothing. He probably will, but I want to see a clean clean finish this time. No shenanigans.
Well, I'm going to go Logan Paul simply because they're going to need a new sponsor or two after all this that's gone down. They're going to need Prime. So I'm going to go Logan Paul. I think I enjoy it. We've talked about this before. They're liable to steal the show. Logan Paul always is impressive in those situations. I have written him off a few times, and every time he has as KO would say, a banger. I'm going to go Logan Paul. I'm excited to watch him tonight, honestly.
Kyle said one moment. He's getting somewhere he talked.
okay, I'm taking Logan Paul. I want to take Uncle Kevin, but I'm going to take Logan Paul.
You're going against your relative, man. He's gonna. We were working on trying to get him on the show or get some tickets, and you just ruined that, Kyle.
Well, listen, I love Uncle Kevin, but that's not his story. Here's what I think is going to happen here. Logan Paul retains tonight. Then come next week, he starts setting up a program with LA Knight to face LA Knight at Mania for the U.S. title. So in order for that to happen, Logan Paul has to win tonight. So that's the only reason I'm going against Uncle Kevin. But I don't think it'll be clean. There's going to be some type of shenanigans. Maybe KSI shows up again in a Prime outfit. I don't know. Something crazy is going to happen tonight to let Logan Paul win, but I don't think Uncle Kevin wins.
Okay. What about Jeremy? Did you know who's going to pick?
Jeremy, who you got?
Who you
Even
got?
though it looked like KO, I'm going to take Logan on this one.
Okay. You do kind of look like Kevin Owens.
Look, man, when we went to our wrestling match, I swear I think we passed probably 10 people. They were like, "Is that Kevin Owens?"
That's what you should dress up for Halloween.
That's
Get
what
your
I said.
KO
I want to get a
shirt.
little KO shirt too, man. That's what I want to do. That's going to be me. He's going to be the Lucha Libre, and that's going to be me.
Lucha Libro.
I'm Lucha Libro.
And if I was Kyle, actually, I would wear a cutoff KO shirt every day. Like you would just have to get some and one basketball shorts and KO cutoff, and just
Actually, my birthday's coming up, so if y'all would like to purchase me a KO shirt, I'm just saying.
My funds can't support Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on your new Annetta Sin gear order, by the way.
Well, I'm still waiting on a Brooke Hill shirt.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Hey Kyle, just you'll be waiting for that a little bit, so don't worry.
Hey man,
maybe I'll
by
get that
next
for my
Christmas.
birthday. My birthday's in March.
We're not going to
Christmas.
go there here, but I'm just glad you finally came to a game that we won. But that's a whole other story. now if I can ever win one in front of Brandon, I'm going to be great. The only one I hadn't won in front of.
Yeah, you have to win in front of me. I'm at enough games. If you didn't win in front of me, then there would be a major problem.
You'd be fired.
I would need another job.
Yeah.
All right, last match on tap is the men's Royal Rumble. Okay, before we were talking about this. Did y'all know that on Raw did they have a drawing for numbers, or is that now people got to draw for
just for our truth?
Is that weird? Like, hey, so that if they're going to start showing that, they should have had more people draw. Maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Well, our truth they did on SmackDown too, and but so I'm the list I'm seeing that they did some on Raw on they didn't do drawings, but they announced some. But a lot of the new participants have been announced on YouTube. They did a drawing on YouTube yesterday. Apparently,
they want people to go watch YouTube. Okay, I see.
Here's the good news though for you, Brandon. On your list that you sent us, you're number 19, which means you have our truth because he was worried he was going to have to quarantine when he got his numbers. Dude, how good is our truth? Seriously.
Our truth is like one of my favorite things on TV right now. Like
national treasure.
Like, he keeps giving them this, like paying up, like giving their money for their cut with these T-shirts. It just trips me out every time.
Do we get Tom and Nick Mysterio in the
Tom and Nick in the Royal Rumble tonight?
Tom and Nick.
Tom's number 3, and then Nick's gonna come out at like 15.
The entrance the other night when it was he and the Miz against Finn and Damian, when he's behind them and he's doing the thing, and the Miz is like, "You're on my," like, it's so golden, man. It's so golden. He's great. You wish he could get like
he's one of the most underpaid like superstars probably. Like his character work is amazing. Like it's just anything he touches. Like even with as bad as the 24/7 title was. Like he made that title. Like he was the only reason it was entertaining was because of our truth. So, yeah, that's interesting. I just noticed that they drew more names on SmackDown. I thought it was funny when he called him Mr. Pierce. He called Nick all.
You grew your hair.
It has a lot of body.
Oh, that was great. Okay, my pick for this, and here's where I think this is going. I'm going with Gunther, and I think he's going to challenge Seth Rollins at Mania for the title because I just think that's where they're going with this. I think it's going to be Punk and Cody Rhodes. That's where I think that's it's going. So I'm going with Gunther for the win.
Look in my eyes. What do you see?
The cult of personality.
Oh, you should.
I wouldn't mind that if Punk wins. I would be happy, but I'm just going with
CM Punk is winning this tonight. I mean, I think it's Punk or Cody. I mean, I get the Gunther. I think if this match was first or second, Gunther. I don't think they end the show with Gunther winning. Like I like Gunther, but I don't think. I just think I don't think you end the show with Gunther winning. I don't think that's the way they go. I just traditionally that's not way they normally go off air with things, and I think this night's ending either with Cody Rhodes or CM Punk, and I'm going with CM Punk. I think we get Punk's music to play to end the night, and it's him celebrating and pointing to that Mania sign, and it's WrestleMania time.
Okay.
Oh, is it me? All right. I think I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes to win back-to-back. And the reason behind that is Cody's got to get back to Roman to finish his story. The only way he's going to get back to him is either winning the Rumble or Mania or Chamber. So I think he wins back-to-back Rumbles, and then CM Punk is going to win Elimination Chamber, I believe, to face Rollins at Mania. Gunther now, I don't know what Gunther does. He's my dark horse. I think if Cody Rhodes doesn't win, then I can see Gunther winning it too. Or CM Punk. This one's a lot more unpredictable to me than the Women's Royal Rumble because there's 3 or 4 guys that I think will have a good chance of winning. I will say this. I think you can guarantee that a Bloodline member will be 4. I don't know who, whether it's Solo, whether it's Jimmy. I also think Jimmy and Jay were going to start their feud at Rumble tonight. I think they're going to kind of kickstart their thing to get towards Mania. But as far as winning the Rumble, I think Rhodes wins and maybe he throws out CM Punk at the end. So then that's kind of set up another feud for down the road. But my pick is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Okay. My son would probably like that pick, Kyle. He likes the American Nightmare.
I mean, here's the good news. There's a handful of guys, if they won, I'd be happy, right? Like, it's kind of hard to decide who you want to pull for in this one. Would I be happy if Rhodes won? Yeah. Would I be happy if Punk won? Yeah. Who knows who else is going to be in this thing, right? God forbid if the scarf were to show up, I might literally jump through my ceiling. And he would be, if MJF, if that dude, it's not happening, right? But if it were to happen, I'm literally you'll know it because you're gonna have to report the story, Brandon, of a freaking human rocket ship that.
What if the Rock shows up in the Rumble and ends up winning it?
Maybe that's how he does it. I will go back to this, KO. I don't think that Rhodes has to get the Roman to finish the story. I don't think that's the story. What if we're all reading the different story? I think it's just the belt.
Yeah,
I think it's just the belt, and I don't think it has to be him. I mentioned earlier that I think Orton's going to win, and that would be the reason why I would think Cody might get there, or Cody might win it, is because if Orton wins, Cody's winning. That's what I think, right?
So you think you're either getting 2 right or you're getting 2 wrong then?
I'm not making the pick because I don't trust myself on any of them. I'm with Brandon. I think it's Punk because I think ultimately I don't think Rhodes has to win to get Orton, right? Rhodes can win his shot to get Orton later, but I do think that we're going to get Punk Rollins, and I think this is where it starts. Is Punk wins tonight. The road we could get the Rhodes Orton a lot of different ways, and that you could even have Reigns win tonight, and you could have Orton win in Australia. I mean, there's all kinds of things that could happen. But I think to get the Punk Rollins, that's where we're going to go. I think Punk wins as well.
How many of the guys from the Fatal 4-Way do we think we get back in the Rumble? Like, think LA Knight and AJ Styles and Orton, or just 2 of them get back in the Rumble?
I don't think any of them.
I don't either. I think they don't.
I think LA Knight will be in the Rumble.
No way. They screwed themselves if they put him back in there. Because if he goes back, if he loses the match and then gets back in the Rumble and he doesn't win the Rumble, they'll burn the place down.
Well, maybe AJ. They could do it with AJ. AJ's probably the one they could do it with.
I think they have enough wrestlers. I don't think they need them.
But who are the surprises in this one? This is my favorite part of the Rumble is not necessarily who wins.
What about some NXT guys like Braun Breaker or what's the other big guy's name?
Mello.
Well, Mello, but the big white guy that him and Breaker were fighting. Von Wagner.
Baron Corbin?
Yeah, like some of those guys. Like they got plenty of big guys they can throw in. Like don't waste a good someone like LA Knight or something. If they're not having a chance to win, throw some guys in there. Give them some. I'm surprised some of those guys haven't moved up. Honestly,
I think we get Goldberg tonight. It sounds like I think he'll
Kyle's
be
calling for it.
I think he'll be in.
Unfortunately, we'll probably get an Omos sighting too.
Oh God! Hey, what about? I don't even know what his name is. What about Andrade?
Big Bronson Reed will be here tonight. Don't you worry.
Oh, Andrade, that's a good
Andrade.
Andrade. I think so tonight.
Andrade. Man, I gotta be honest.
The LC will probably have some play.
Y'all are throwing out some NXT names, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I hope not. I mean, seriously, I don't want to see Braun Breaker in the Rumble. We'll probably get that bum Baron Corbin in the Rumble.
They're a tag team now.
Yeah, exactly why I don't even watch it. I'll be honest, I don't watch it. If Baron Corbin's in the storylines, I'm out. KO. I don't.
Hey, I do like Trick Williams. If he's in it, I'm good with it. I just like his entrance.
What about Velveteen Dream? Is Velveteen Dream still around, Bret? I don't even know.
No, he he's up there. He's up there with Vincent Mann in lawsuits and stuff.
I just saw the man on. I saw him on TikTok a couple weeks ago apologizing. I didn't know what he did. I get. Never mind. Sorry.
Who's that?
Velveteen Dream, man. You know what Velveteen Dream is?
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yeah, he kind of went into thin air. Then he was just gone.
Well, he did a bunch of bad things. Like he did worse stuff than Riddle before Riddle.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Velveteen Dream, remember that season of Tough Enough? Whatever happened to the lazy guy that they just wear? Let's get him in the Rumble tonight. He was like the alligator fighter or something. I don't know. If he still has all of his arms and stuff, let him in. I don't know.
Hey, let's do this. Let's do this, guys. Let's all pick somebody like a special appearance and see if any of us get it right. That'd be fun. So who do you think? Like if you were to pick somebody like special, crazy, off the ropes kind of person to be in the Rumble.
I got mine first. Pat McAfee.
Whoa. Okay.
He's coming. I feel like he's coming back to commentary with them getting rid of Kevin Patrick. I just don't know how they're going to shuffle everything. So we get Pat McAfee in the Rumble tonight.
I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot.
That's a good pick.
Let's see. It's in Florida, right? So let's think about. Oh man, I do like the Pat. If Pat McAfee's on there, I'll be happy.
There's another one. If y'all don't say it, I'll come back.
Especially if it's McAfee over Braun Breaker or Baron Corbin.
I'm trying to think.
I like the Rock idea, Bret. I really do.
I think that would be a huge pop. And then I think maybe the Bloodline eliminate him. You got because after he talked noise, maybe Jimmy and Solo eliminate him. Kind of starts up the more of a feud between the Bloodline. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with the Rock. I just think that'd be that's an off the one. I think I'm gonna stick with it. I think he comes in and Solo and Jimmy eliminate him.
He'd have to be number 30, right? What about this is not really a huge surprise. I mean, it would be, but it's not it's definitely not The Rock or Goldberg or Pat McAfee. But what about Bo Dallas?
Oh,
Jeremy just said that one. Jeremy just said Bo Dallas.
There's something about something about geniuses named Jeremy. That's all I'm going to say, man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna
say. Cool.
Speaking of that, we didn't get Jeremy's pick for the Rumble. Who's
Jeremy, who's winning the Rumble?
This is a tough one. I gotta go with CM. I gotta go with CM Punk.
That's right.
Yes.
See, it's all up here, KO. It's all up here. If I tell you a chicken dip snuff, you better look underneath his wing for the cans. All I'm going to tell you.
I've never heard that one. I love it. But he did just say that. He just said Bo Dallas, and then he was like, "No, I'm just joking. That's way out of left field." But it could be.
Okay, Kyle.
That'd be a cool moment.
Who you got, Kyle? Who's your off the wall?
I think John Cena comes back tonight.
Ooh,
I think Cena enters the Rumble, and he could set up something if it's not going to be LA Knight, Logan Paul at Mania, it could be Logan Paul and Cena. So I think that kind of kick starts. But my pick is Cena comes back.
Okay.
Another interesting one we could get tonight would be Bad Bunny. He's in Florida near that. We hadn't seen him in a while. We could get a Bad Bunny appearance.
Man, that'd be awesome too. Only if he takes out Priest. That's all I want to say.
I don't get why Priest is in the Rumble, and I hate he's in the Rumble. You're the Money in the Bank holder. If you won the Rumble, it'd be stupid. You being in the Rumble is dumb. Why is he in the Rumble? I don't understand.
Well, but Brandon, this is actually it could be genius. He wins the Rumble, right? He goes to Mania. He still has the briefcase. He gets disqualified by running over whoever with a truck or something. He gets disqualified, and then he turns in the briefcase and he wins. Brandon, it could be it's all up here. It's genius.
Okay, next level booking.
E-booking, e-wrestling, or whatever the hell Diggs was talking about earlier. I don't even know.
Oh man, wow, it's going to be interesting night. I like I said earlier, I think this is going to be one of the most unpredictable Royal Rumbles in a while. I think there's when we kind of we got there for a while in WWE where we all were picking the same winners every time, and you look down through here, and besides Logan Paul, you have different picks. At least one person's different.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, and you went with your Randy Orton pick. I mean, that was a little, you're risking there, but if you win,
did it too. I was this close.
if you win, you're going to gain on everybody. So
I'm not going to win. Don't worry. I never win at this.
Yeah, you never know. It can happen.
Is everybody watching live?
Yes,
I hope
I will
so.
be watching with my two kids. They're,
All right, well,
they're probably more excited about the Rumble. They've been asking me for the last week, like, when's the Royal Rumble? Like, they're
Yeah, it's
pumped.
my son. We told him we could stay up too, so he's excited about it. And so I'll probably, if something happens, you can expect a text from me. So
Yeah,
My
and
wife
don't
wanted to go
forget-
to dinner. No chance. We're rumbling tonight. I mean, we're watching the Rumble tonight. Sorry.
Hey, tell her to go pick up dinner.
She is
What's
actually.
up?
She is.
Oh,
Well,
look
see,
at
my-
there.
my wife's picking up dinner tonight. So her birthday was yesterday. We probably would have went out to dinner on Saturday. Normally, we went out to lunch instead. So because she wants to watch the Rumble too. So
By the way, my son turned 18 yesterday. KO, he was pumped up. He gave me happy birthday. KO's not even paying attention, but KO is my son's favorite person in the world. I don't really understand it, but he is. So he was
I
pumped
love
up.
Man,
Luke.
Yeah.
I love Luke.
I'm giving Luke's. I mean, I'm coming to cover all his stuff, and I can't get any dap on the sideline. KO shows up
He
like
dapped me
once
up.
every blue moon, and he gets a dap on the sideline.
It's like
What
every
is this?
time. Is NetSN coming to the game? Yeah. Is KO going to be there? I don't know.
Man, like,
If he's not, I don't
man.
care. He really loves Corey. We both have that in common. But he had you're talking about that, Brandon. We had some birthday cookies, and luckily he didn't want to share them with everybody. So I have a whole box of those really expensive, good looking, great tasting cookies. I'm going to wear those out, and it'll be a fun night. I'm looking forward to it. He's going to watch it. He watches one a year, and it's the Rumble, so it'll be fun.
All right, that's fun. Y'all can do that. My son is absolutely excited. I'm brainwashing mine early. We love wrestling here. Now my wife may sleep through it, but that's okay. What would y'all think about the like right before the pay-per-view show? This is kind of cool, huh? A little different than normal, but
that's fun.
kind of give our own little pre-show. We'll have to do something afterwards at some point.
Truthfully, it's probably the best time to get us all together when we're sitting around waiting for it to start.
As long as everybody's watching it live, then it's good,
Well, it's usually only KO that's the problem. So,
Man, that KO guy, look at him. Was he drinking his health shake or something?
no chance, no shot, no
Not
shot
a
that's
chance.
healthy.
We got some Wingstop here.
Man, can you pass that through the screen here?
What's the flavor?
I could, I would.
What's the flavor, KO? We need to know the flavor. What do we got?
So we got some hot wings right here, and then hickory smoked barbecue. But we also got these corn wheel things, fried corn.
Man.
Oh, and we got some garlic parm too.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Man, they're spoiling you up there, man.
I know.
Got you some egg rolls.
We got egg rolls.
egg
We got
rolls, too.
crab. What is that? Crab
Crab ragoons.
He
ragoon.
don't even know what it is.
Yeah, Kyle's getting cultured tonight.
Kyle's like Whataburger every meal, and now he's getting all this spoiled here.
I don't know how to act. I'm used to having hot pockets. That's about it.
Man, hot pockets. They're slept on. I've just learned about Uncrustables, KO. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've just learned about Uncrustables.
Dude, I had those every day for lunch in high school. They were
Man.
great.
Genius. We have really gone down.
We didn't have that when we were in high school.
Uncrustables with some baked Lay's potato chips.
Yeah,
That was my lunch every day.
Brandon, we had Uncrustables. We just cut the crust off ourselves. Who knew?
Yeah,
Who
you
knew?
just trim the crust off.
The weird kids in lunch that were taking the crust off the bread, they are millionaires now.
Yeah, that's probably
No offense if you're a weird kid that took your crust off your sandwich.
You probably just offended somebody.
It won't be the first time today, I can assure you.
Oh man, well I guess that's it. Anybody got anything else that you guys want to talk about before we kind of go catch the show? We got, I think it's the pre-shows on. They don't do any matches anymore, I don't think. So it's kind of a
No, nothing they could do tonight because like everybody's in the Rumble. So like, but yeah, and enjoy it, guys. Enjoy whatever. Enjoy your Wingstop, Kyle. We almost did Wingstop tonight too, but I picked up Wing Zone last night on my way home from my game. So my wife changed. We're doing Chick-fil-A tonight instead. So
Also, not a bad decision.
Chick-fil-A is
got a big nugget tray coming. So.
man, y'all making me hungry. I'm about to go get some food now.
I think I got some Roadhouse on the way. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm.
Roadhouse.
I think I might be doing okay.
She drove all the way to Roadhouse.
Hey man,
How much, man? You must
Some
be
people-
living. You must be living right.
Some people.
Hey, we got
Hey, we got a
we got a
we got a
comment.
chat. I don't know if we want to.
Wow, no, let's don't go there. Let's don't go there. Let's don't go there.
Wow.
It's time to kill the show.
Hey, it's our first live chat ever, I think, for this show.
Oh goodness.
And it was
Is
about
that
to be our
Corey?
last because if we answer that, we're getting
Yeah.
canceled. So let's stay away from it.
Hey, the
Yeah.
Disrespect Sports Network. We can disrespect whoever we want.
There's some things you don't need to touch, even on the Disrespect Sports Network.
Oh man. What
Yeah, we all have real jobs that we could lose over answering these questions.
Yeah, that would be kind of bad. So that's gonna do it here for Off the Ropes, the Roll Room pre-show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Hopefully we'll have another show here after the Rumble here next week, and we'll wrap things up and kind of talk about what happened tonight. But for Matt Diggs, who's already exited, for our special guest, Jereme Titsworth, Brandon, Jeremy, and Kyle, we'll get you next time right here on Off the Ropes. This is episode 20 already, guys. Can't believe it. We'll catch everybody next time. Night, everybody.